season. I've got my list of things I want to do prepared, and I'm recording the voiceover at the beginning of the month because I want to motivate myself to actually get through all these levels and set a standard for myself. I have a goal that entails exactly 10 levels as milestones, starting with 1525, 1550, 1575, and 1600. I'm doing some old classics. I'm doing Ditch Machine, Forsaken Neon, The Furious, and Acropolis, which is the first spooky level of the season, of the month. Then I have the most terrifying level for 1625. We have White Women. That's a terrifying level, so that'll scare me. Conchetumare X for 1650. Loving You Is Wrong by Skywalker for 1675. 1700 is Kid Smoke. That's the other next insane demon planning on. Then 1725 will be Shadow Temple by Michigan. And 1750 will be the recompletion of The Place, which is the final insane demon I have to rebeat from my old account. I've put it on a 1750 instead of a 100 multiple of any kind, because it seems like it's the most likely to get re-rated down to hard demon potentially. I don't think it will, but if hypothetically any insane demon were to, I think it'd be that one. So if it gets rated down, it's not devastating because it's not on one of my 100 multiples. So that's good. So that's the plan for this month. As bonuses, if there's time, I might try to do 2 kid friendly or red rooms, just as like a maybe, but those are not confirmed. That's just if there's time for them. I don't think there will be, so don't hold me to those. But don't spoil yourself. Don't check the chapter feature because that's definitely gonna be revealing in terms of what's gonna happen. Anyways, for now, I'm gonna start playing some easier levels. I'm gonna try to find a list with 4 levels in it, but I really don't know what I'm gonna do. We'll see. But my first objective really is I'm gonna try to beat Funhouse or Eta Carnis. I'll probably do Eta Carnis first and then just rebeat it after I do Funhouse, but I really have no idea what my plan is yet. We'll see. It'll be fun. Anyways, that's the plan. Wanted to get this out of the way at the beginning of the video or in the beginning of the month because I want to hold myself to this standard. So we'll see what happens. Well, let's just drop it down a little bit for now. Put it in the low detail. Yeah, this is running a little bit better. And this is the cutscene, which is already, like, not working. So the parts that were working, like, decently should be fine. Oh, the lighthouse is gone, though. That's sad. As long as the swing part works, I'll be alright. Okay, this is actually kind of sick. Dude, okay, this is actually really cool, and I wish I could see it better. It's lagging like crazy. Some of these animations are genuinely kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hate this. I need to play it without lag, because it was still not running very well, but when I'm not recording, I'm sure it'll function a little bit better. This, I like this style though. It's not like some terrible slop. This is actually kind of sick. But I'll give a better review of it when I can actually see what I'm doing. I knew this wasn't gonna run the best. We'll see what happens later on. But for now, I do think it was cool. What the heck? How did I miss one? Dude. Yep. So cool. Am I sideways? I don't want to be sideways. Okay, nice. Here we go. Sick. I just realized I was holding the thing. Okay. This was free. Okay. That was pretty funny. I won't lie. I kind of enjoyed it. It was, you know, it is. It's a bit much. It's over the top. I like it more than Space Invaders, because here's the thing: we're doing the like separate coin cutscene trope again. Which is something I didn't really like in Space Invaders. Here, I like it a little more because the thing is, it ties into the narrative more, and I don't know. I think I just like that you have to do it all in one run. Like, they're not being some weird save system where it makes it like really confusing, and like it's not too much to process. I still would like if they were tied into the actual gameplay and didn't have like separate rooms, but there were some funny jokes. I like where like the dude hits the button and it raises the coin higher above your head so you can't get it. That's funny. It's a funny level. I think a lot of the animations and character work is really decent. And it, you know, it's not too bad gameplay wise. Rafer's gameplay is historically kind of like free, like way too easy in a lot of places. At least anything below a demon, because in Silico and Sky Tower are kind of notable exceptions in that regard. But in this level, I thought it was alright. I mean, like, it doesn't demand a lot of you. There's a lot of parts where you just kind of wait. And that could be called boring or whatever, but I didn't think it was too bad. Overall, I did enjoy this level for the most part, and I think it has a cute little narrative to it. But it does have some flaws that are difficult to overlook, just because, you know, it's got a lot of that classic 2.2 weirdness, I guess. I was gonna say slop, but it's not slop. I think this is very unique and cute, but it's problematic, I won't lie. I'd say a solid 7 is decent. None of the issues are huge enough to really make me hate the level, but it's flawed, so I wouldn't go any higher than a B tier. It's not too bad though. I enjoyed it for the most part.
Just one more leap, just one more leap. I'll make it there even if I'm incomplete. I wanna see all the smiles I made while I'm still me. Do you believe in the things you made, in the things you dreamed? That part of me, please let me go. There's room to grow, even though the world is dying. I will never give up trying, singing songs when life gets hard, hoping that my voice will reach your heart. All these words I sing for you, hope you know my feelings are true. If you fall from the weight of life, just know I'll be right by your side.
Cool. Okay, this level feels like that one, like, random 9-star you find on the featured tab that feels like it's a demon, but you know it's not actually a demon. It's just, like, really frustrating, so it kind of feels harder than it is. Except this time it actually did get rated Demon in mid-weekly for some reason. I don't know why. This level is like, okay, I guess. I don't really like it, but I don't hate it. It's a 4. I think 4 is very fair for this level. It's just, I don't know. The visuals just don't feel that interesting. I had high hopes for this because I like the way this thumbnail looks. I think this eye design is pretty cool. And then it was mostly just kind of like a cutesy, like, generic art level. And I was like, it's okay, I guess. But it's just not my kind of thing. I mean, do I hate it? No. But this is a year old? What? Okay. Dang. Okay, so no wonder the dates at the end of the level are like so far back, because I was thinking that this was a recent release, and it's not. Okay, cool. That was not my favorite completion ever. I didn't hate it though. It was okay, I guess. So I've missed 2 weeklies now, so I have to go back and do these. It's okay though. I'll get around to it. Hopefully I can get those before Haunted Moon leaves the weekly cycle. I got 6 days. I should be fine. I almost jumped at that part I wasn't supposed to. Well, that ending is a little bit anticlimactic, which is kind of unfortunate. Okay, I like this level for the most part. Definitely a 7. It's a little goofy, you know? I think it's... What this level reminds me of, it reminds me of one of those, like, haunted house rides you see at, like, theme parks and stuff. Like, where you ride on a car and sometimes you'll have, like, a little blaster that you have to shoot the ghouls with. Like, that kind of thing. And I've always loved those kinds of rides because, like, they're really not scary. Like, it's just a bunch of cartoon, like, ghosts and zombies and stuff like that. But, like, they're always a little bit unsettling because they're still animated and, like, it's... I don't know. It's what this level reminds me of. Because this level, like, it's not really scary at all, but there's just some characters that are a little bit weird looking and it's kind of... funny, especially the portraits. Portraits are always kind of a thing that get to me. I don't know. They're just kind of like, huh, that's weird. Anyways, I do like the level a lot. On a visual level, and mostly from a gameplay perspective, it's fun. A couple parts suck, most notably the vertical part. I don't like vertical gameplay. And also the ending was just a little bit anticlimactic. I wish there was a bit more to it. But still, I like the level a lot. It's a decent 7, I would say. Only other gripe I have is I don't like the sound effect use, because sound effects are just generally kind of a no-go for me. But like these are all little nitpicks in what is an otherwise like good overall level. I especially like the asymmetrical duel. That part where like they kind of, you know, layer on top of each other is really sick. I don't know. I'm just kind of checkboxing all the stuff that I do and don't like. Overall, it's a good level. But I just wanted to make my gripes with it clear. Not bad though. Much better than One More Leap. There we go. Nice. I did it. This one's realistically not too hard. I mean, it's tricky, but for a hard demon, yeah, it's not too bad. I don't know, it was fun in some parts, and some parts just sucked a little. I don't know. It's probably somewhere in B tier. I want to say 7 because the duel with like the ship is really fun and creative. Like, I really enjoy the duel sections of this level. Mostly the first one. The second one's also pretty cool with the UFO and ball combo. But man, I just don't like everything else. Like, the first ball is terrible. The first cube is like, it's got a fun flow state, but like, actually remembering it is a pain. The last ball is kind of like, I don't really care for that. And then, I guess the ending is also kind of alright with the slow wave and ship and UFO. So it's kind of all over the place in quality. Some parts suck a little bit, but like, nothing is egregious. And the parts that are good are, like, generally really good. Like I said, I like the duel in the center. I think a 6 is probably fair for this. I know that seems kind of low for a level of this nature, but I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it as much as I hoped I would. And like the good parts are like as great as they are, don't really elevate it past, or they don't really redeem the lows of the level. I think 6 is a decent rating for this. It's fun overall, but yeah, there's just a couple of parts that really bother me. It's okay though. I think it's fun. It's you know, I'm just being a little bit picky. My standards are high, you know. That's a cloud. That might be the kind of thing that would usually kill you, but it is in this level. Practice for our veterans.
Alright, I got there. Nice. This level is a banger. Well, kind of. It's a it's a level that
doesn't particularly play the best, but it looks really gorgeous, even though the fire section at the end is really out of place. But I like, look at this. Look at this background. Isn't that amazing? This is like, it looks so good. I love the way this level looks. It's really, really pretty. Although I'm sure it's pretty obvious what the main, what is so, significant about this level. And that's the fact that it's basically an easy demon with 5-star gameplay. That's really, really funny. Or, no, it's an easy demon with a 5-star rating. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, try that again. It's an easy demon with, or it's a 5-star with easy demon gameplay. I can't speak. That's embarrassing. But no, this level just looks, really, really nice. I love it. Even though the gameplay is not my favorite thing in the world. Although it's not the level's fault that it's rated incorrectly. It's just way too low. I'd give this like a 7 probably. I think it's a gorgeous level. And the only bad gameplay is at the end with that wave because you can't see. But once you figure out the pattern, it's kind of thrilling to get through. It's a beautiful level. I like it. Lily by RayOriens. Oh my god, I'm so done. Get me out!
Dude. This is just like completely killed me. I was inspired by. Yeah. Okay, this all makes sense. Uprising speak.
Okay, so like, here's the thing. I feel like I should hate this. Like, I feel like I shouldn't like this because I spent like so long on it and I got so mad playing it because like these transitions and camera movements and stuff just kind of suck. But like, this level's so hype. It's just like, I don't know, and the more you play it and the more you die and learn and get further, like, the opening sections become like really enjoyable. Like, when you actually get a good run, it feels so good. But oh my god, dying over and over again just feels terrible. I don't know. I want to put this with the other levels that are like the other like 2.2 motion knockoffs, because they're all really fun. Although I feel like I enjoyed this one like a little less. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of that. Like, 7 out of 10 seems high for a level that I got so frustrated with, but, like, I don't know, man. We'll see. 7's probably fine, quite frankly. But who knows? Ugh. God, I did it, though. Now I'm finally caught up on the weeklies. I just gotta do Haunted Moon. That's cool.
Yeah, I didn't think there was any chance I was gonna get. That's what? Okay. Well, this level's a little bit buggy. I kind of love that about it, though. Like, they're not level breaking, it's just kind of funny. Oh. Yep, forgot about that. This level's only rated because it's by a big YouTuber, guys. Can you believe that? Can you believe that this level's only rated because it's made by vortrox? Consider for a second that maybe the level actually just has peak gameplay. That could be a factor. No, it's just rated because vortrox made it. Totally. For real though, this level's gameplay is fire. I love this. It's so fun. And I like the simplicity of it. It's very open, but I like that about it. It's just fun. Very smooth. The ship in particular is a cool section, but it's very creative with its gameplay in a lot of places as well. The spider at the end is cool. Yeah, I like this level. This is fun. Very fun. Nice. This is solid 7. This is fun. I love the gameplay in this. It's kind of surprising because I know I've played one other HTigerzGD level before and it was Conformity and that level was really good. But the gameplay wasn't quite as strong. I don't know. There it is, yeah. Like, I love this level. It's definitely an atmospheric carried level. But the gameplay in that one's just kind of iffy. This is like a whole different ballgame because this is like, it's not as atmospheric, but the gameplay is definitely much better, and I like it. That was really fun, and the coins are very creative. I like that. That was a really fun level. Definitely a cool one. Again, it's not doing a whole lot of innovation in like either atmosphere or decoration style, but hey, it plays really well. So we're just gonna go along with that. Good times. This is stupid.
Nice. It was a little stressful for some reason, even though it's not that hard. Alright, this is a fun one. I like it. Probably like a 6.
Although it was weirdly easy for a demon, it's okay. Yeah, it's fun. It's just not super hard. I really have very little to say. It's just kind of generic pink level with decent gameplay, although a lot of click sync and indicator use, so it's not a big deal.
That was fine. No big review. I'm really, really irritated. Like, what are the hitboxes in that part? Dude. Nice. Okay. I mean, I like the song. Everything else about it is kind of like, whatever. Well, no wonder. Look at this lineup of creators. You got freaking Elmato Swag in there. Actually, I shouldn't say this lineup because Elmato Swag is the only bad creator I recognize.
I know I recognize more of these names, but I just don't remember what all of them made.
Whatever. I'm just being a hater. That was fine, but like, The gameplay is just kind of rough. I mean, maybe a 6, maybe a 5. I'd say 6 is fair. I like the song enough. What did BitZGD? I'm just curious. I know this name. Well, I don't remember what they made exactly that I beat. I know it was an easy level, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. That was still a kind of okay level. It was you know, a little weird gameplay wise. It was fun like when you kind of get into it, but learning it wasn't like the greatest thing ever. Oh, it was fun. Yeah, the game key. Okay, I'll take it. Keep forgetting about that.
lag spikes are really frustrating me, dude. God, this level's so sick. Alright, just don't do anything. I mean, I can jump at the end there, but... Well, this level's really, really good. It is peak, that's for sure. Dude, the song rep in this level goes crazy. I love when it just stops you dead in your tracks with that, like, kind of loud, like, crashing effect. Like, that's so cool. This is a really sick level. It just looks really, really nice for the most part, and it's very atmospheric. I love the longevity. It makes it feel more complete. Lots to love about Polar Equals. I don't know why. I don't know. It's one of those levels I've kind of just danced around for a long time. I just didn't really foresee it being peak, but it was peak, apparently. So, hey, can't complain. That was pretty awesome. I love this. Polar Equals, good job. It's okay, the longer I take on this, the closer we get to the RayOriens video, right? I was hoping to get the mistaken neon before the video dropped, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Here we go. Ooh, don't hit that. I should win. Okay, that was a little bit smoother. Actually, okay, I kind of like that one. Yeah, okay, so I was prepared to give this level a very solid 8 out of 10, but then I heard what it did to the song at the beginning, and I've gone back on that. I'm gonna go with a 7. This is a really, really nice level, visually. I think it looks really pretty. But I can't forgive how clumsily it transitions parts of the song at the beginning. Now, the second time was actually kind of cool where the bird grabs you. That was funny. I did appreciate that little visual gag. But I did not like the first one. That really bothered me the first time I heard it. I was like, ew, you cannot do that. Good level overall, but that's just a little thing that really bothered me. Mostly because I like the song a lot, so hearing blemishes in it is cursed. Anyway, I like this level. This is a good one. The art, BPI's art style is just amazing. It's like a lot of like larger shapes, but like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool. That was a fun one. I enjoyed that. Okay, well I just kind of fluked the final ship. That's wild. And the final ball, that's a little bit less significant because once you learn the patterns, it's pretty easy. Okay, this was surprisingly not that bad. I think this took me less time than Ditched Machine, even though it's higher on the GDDL. I'm not going to complain about that. Alright, so this was a fun one. Kind of. I like this level for the most part, but in classic fashion, it's a bit janky, unpolished. It's, yeah, this is kind of how most important levels are in my view. I thought it was good. I liked it overall. I like it more than Ditched Machine. I still don't know whether I'd go 6 or 7. I also think I'd like it before, or better than Before Machinery. I think 7 is pretty fair, although I'd put it on the low end of 7. There's just, I don't know, it's really not too bad, but there's a couple of bad transitions, and my god, I hate the crystal part in the middle. That cube is like, oh my god, I do not like it. I just am not a fan of the cube. That part is really stupid. Otherwise, it's kind of okay. I mean, there's some weird click timings and patterns and all that stuff, but hey, you just gotta deal with that at times. But overall, fun. Yeah, Zobros. I need to play more by Zobros, I guess, but like at the same time, I don't really have much. I don't know. I forgot Zobros could love pop. Yeah. Anyway, I'm yapping. That was fun. Not my favorite, not my least favorite thing. It's just... That's kind of a stupid timing. I wish that spike wasn't there. Nice. I kind of would have liked to fluke it, but it's okay. It was still a fun level. Very, very cute. The art style is just so endearing, and the gameplay is fun. I think the gameplay is mostly what carries it, because I enjoy a lot of it. But I do think there's a nice motivational atmosphere, and the art style is so cute. I really enjoyed this one. I think this could be maybe like an 8 out of 10, maybe. I think that seems fair. I don't know. It was just like a really nice art style. It was super fun to play. I just like this general like line art on a black background style. It's not, the whole level's not like that. There's several parts that branch out of that, but it's all this kind of cutesy, cartoony, yet simplistic design, and I like that. Very, very nice. I'm surprised I haven't heard of this one, considering it's pretty high up in the likes and downloads. But hey, it's alright. It was fun. Ugh. Oh, God. These slope physics are a little jank. Okay. Luckily, that was fairly easy. Always miss you, and I'll never forget you. It's time to move on. Thanks for everything. Oh. It's chilling, dude. Do I have to click or does it just linger? Oh, there it goes. Okay. There was a coin in that. Oh my god. I was so lost in the atmosphere. I feel really dumb. You know what? I'm gonna let this sit just for a while because I want to give my review while the level is fresh in my mind. I just realized my menu music is not working. That's my gymnopathy. Well, whatever, I'll fix it later. I wanted to get my review of this right away, then I got distracted by so many little factors. But I need to talk about the level. I cannot believe I hit that. No way. Dude, I don't know how I did that ship jump thing. There's no shot. I'll take it. But wow, that did not feel good at all. Okay. Wow, that wasn't too bad. The first practice run had me really scared that this was going to suck so bad. As time went on, though, I kind of adapted. It was not awful. There are still some pretty big issues in the gameplay, I'd argue. I do not care much for the ending, particularly. Just that UFO and the wave are both kind of weird, and there's just some weird timings in other parts of the level, like all throughout, which I'm not fond of. It's just a very awkward, janky level in its entirety. Plus, I'm not really that into the style. I think there's some cool parts to it, but I'm not very enamored with it, even by 2.0 standards.
But, I mean, I kind of got into a rhythm with this level. I kind of had a decent time. Not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm erring on the side of 5, but I could maybe go with 6 here. I'm thinking 5 is probably more accurate. I mean, like, C tier seems fine. High C, like, I would probably group it in with Forest Temple. It's another one of those classics that just I don't vibe with on a personal level. Even though the gameplay styles are very different, because Forest Temple is a lot more well thought out, I suspect. Anyways, this was alright. I thought it was I think it was kind of fun, but it's problematic in a number of ways, so there's that. Most of my deaths are gonna be the stupid upside down ships in this level. Okay, that was a really, really easy demon. That kind of just felt like a lot of the 8 and 9 stars I've been playing as of late. But hey, we take those. Pretty fun. What is this request? Okay, it did request demon. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's easy demon. And yeah, the ships are just kind of the hard part. Notably the upside down ships. That was alright though. I enjoyed that. Stomp by Raven. I don't know if I've played something else by this creator. It seems familiar. Name. I'm sure I've played something, right? No, nothing at all. Seriously? Okay, well. Cool. That was a good level. I like this creator. If all of their stuff was like that. Sick. That was fun. Nice! Let's go. Man. Take it. That was kind of fun. Old, scuffed 2.0 demon with some really weird gameplay and awkward movements and kind of vision obscuring visuals, but much like the Furious, you kind of just get into a flow with it. Like, yeah, it's awkward, but like the patterns are so recognizable and like memorable. Like, it's not that bad really, but it's still a little weird in place. Like, what was it in particular? I think it was mostly just the spamming, and I also didn't care for some of the waves near the end, like where the vision is just completely, like, it's just blind because the tops and bottom of the screen are weird. That one click in the duel. There's just so many awkward things in this level that make it hard to really love, even though it has that old 2.0 charm. I assume it's 2.0. I didn't recognize any 2.1 elements, but there might have been something I missed. I don't know. It says game version 2.0 and it says 9 years old, so I have no idea. It is hilarious that this level requested 9 stars. That's very, very funny. Anyway, that was fun. I enjoyed it for a little bit, you know. It's not much to write home about. I'd give it like a 5, maybe a 6, but it's like one of those 5 that you can't help but love a little bit because of how goofy it is. But when you're looking at it from a more critical standpoint, it just isn't all that. But thanks to Shib for sending me this one. It was kind of funny. And I didn't want to play the Undergarden because that one is hard as hell. I'll play it soon, but not now. This is a good level. It's back to commercial. Don't care too much and it works. Okay, I got it. Nice. Acropolis. Let's go. I just had to chill the heck out at the end and that did the trick. Love to see it. Yeah. Awesome. This is a good level. Better than Forsaken Neon, that's for sure. I would go as far as to say this is my new favorite 1.9 level. I think that's fair enough. I don't think there's too much controversy in saying that. I mean, like, Death Moon is a contender, but that's pretty much it. Still wouldn't give it an S tier. I don't even think it's really that close to an S tier. Like, it's, you know, it's cool because, like, I like that it has a theme and location, and, like, the gameplay complements that really well, and there's a bit of an atmosphere there. But it just doesn't make me feel anything on, like, a spiritual level. Like, that's what I often look for in 10 out of 10 levels. And it doesn't give me, like, an emotional reaction of any sort. But that's not a bad thing, because still, like, thematically and visually, it is excellent. I mean, I love the design of this level with, like, the inconsistent brick patterns with, like, the dark and light colors. And, like, the very, like, the very smooth structuring. Like, everything is very, like, it all makes sense. It all, like, is really well built. But there are, like, these hanging balls of spikes that are just kind of, like, in the way. And I like that. That's kind of cool. It gives, like, I don't know. It feels like a really well-kept temple, but, like, with traps and stuff. That's kind of, I don't know. That's the vibe I get. But, like, it's very, very, like, normally structured. Like, an actual building. I don't know. There's a word I'm looking for and I just can't find it. And the gameplay's good too, other than having the worst balancing of all time. It's not like I shouldn't say that, because like I'd rather a level be front heavy than back heavy, because at least that means the beginning doesn't get boring on repeat playthroughs. But I do wish the beginning were a little easier, and then maybe smooth out that difficulty curve by making some of the later bits a little harder. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to complain about it being like too easy or
anything in the later half, though. It's not a big deal. Yeah, overall very fun. Definitely better than Forsaken Neon, like I said. Zobros I have not played enough by, but I can say that this is definitely above that. I need to play Love Baba. That'll be a fun one. One day. Okay, my Wi-Fi is kind of down, so I'm not gonna go scrolling through his profile. I feel like there was something else I wanted to add about this level, but I think that just about covers it. Definitely my favorite 1.9 level. I would maybe give this a 9. I'm still leaning towards 8 a little bit, but I definitely do like it more than Lit Fuse. I'll figure it out. I think 9 is probably fair, but it is a little short, and it doesn't have like that atmosphere really to make it feel impactful in any way. We'll see what happens. It's a good level though. Very fun one. Dude, I can't not. Okay, I'm surprised I got that first try, but that's weird. Okay. Cool. That was fun. Heatherhayes levels are generally pretty good, so I expect nothing less. But I like the gameplay a lot. It's really creative, and the design is just super neat. The way the objects kind of shift in like inconsistent patterns to each other. And I don't know. It's very unconventional gameplay. Those loops, like in the ground, like you just kind of jump through them, like. It adds a fun little puzzly element, because they really don't look like something you should, I guess something you should be able to get through, but also not so, I don't know, that's weird, but like the way you jump through them, it is kind of a fun like element you have to think about. This was pretty great. Did this have a Nong? I might have made a mistake by playing this without the Nong, if it did, but the level's cool. I don't know. It wouldn't be the first time I've accidentally played a Heatherhayes level without checking for a Nong. Yeah. That was fun though. I like that. Good level. How? Okay. Dude, I went 3 for 3 on the final coin somehow. I made it to that spot 3 times in the, however many attempts, the 1,000 attempts I spent on this level. I made it to the 3rd coin 3 times, and I one-shot it all 3 of those times. I don't know how that coin is so hard. But, hey, I'm just gonna take it. And you know what? I kind of deserve it, because I had to suffer through the first part of this level to get there each time.
as for the review of the level, I like the level. I really appreciate when levels experiment with their gameplay. I think the clustered orbs and weird, like, over-decoration and slope physics all make a really interesting experience, but they're not very fun. I appreciate what it's doing, but it does get really irritating after a while. Partially because of the coin, because the coins also have the issue of having off-screen jumps, a little bit of blindness, and that really got on my nerves. Actually, it's just the second coin, so I'm over-exaggerating. And I got bored with the first section. That ship, where you have to get the saws flying up. That was, like... It was neat, but it did get tiresome. I do like the entire second half, though. I think everything in the second half is really fun, except for the third coin, but I got lucky with that, so I'm just gonna roll with it. I think there are some really cool gameplay mechanics in the later parts of the level. Yeah, this is cool. Very hard for a medium demon, if you ask me. I'm surprised there's only a 7 on the GDDL. I'd give this, like, maybe a 9. As for enjoyability rating, I'd give it a 6. I hate to put it that low, because it is cool and very experimental, but it just wasn't as fun with repeat attempts. So that's fine. Cement, cool. I love the way this level looks. I don't care for the song and the gameplay, really, but, like, I don't care that much, because it just looks so good. That's okay. Like, if there's one thing I don't like about this level, is that the song is, like, extremely obnoxious. Like, yeah, I don't like the song, even, like, remotely. It is so grating and, like, annoying, and I hate it. But, this level looks really, really cool. I really don't know what I should rate this one. I think, like, on its own, it deserves, like, an 8, but the song I really just don't like, even though it's represented really well. Like, I think I'm gonna give this one an 8, which feels crazy, because I just don't like the song at all, but it's represented in a cool way, and I just love the visual style of this. That's sick. And the gameplay's pretty fun. There's just a few moments where it's kind of, like, whatever-y. But this is so cool. SOREVILLE. Nice. Nice. Cool. Well, I'm glad I was able to beat it quickly. Since my keyboard is not working now for some reason. My keyboard just stopped and I couldn't escape the level. So I was just forced to play it till I beat it. That's so funny. Now I need to figure out what the issue is with this freaking thing. But anyway, that was, like, not too hard. Fortunately. Very fun. It's kind of all bark no bite. I mean, after practicing this for the first time, I was like, oh god, this is gonna suck. I'm going to be here forever. And then I did my second practice run, and I was like, oh, okay, this is free. It's just... I mean, to be fair, I think I say this about most hard demons after a first practice run, but it's just only scary at first. And then you do it again, it's not that bad. I would argue this is easier than Cement, personally. I know that sounds like a crazy opinion, but I thought Cement was harder than this, despite being a medium demon. That said, I got the coins in that level, and this level didn't have any coins. I'd give this like a solid 7. The gameplay is great, but, you know, I'm not really drawn in by the visuals. Obviously, there's no atmosphere to speak of. Unless you... I did play this for Halloween, in all fairness, because I was looking for scary levels, and what's scarier than white women. So, of course, there's that, but aside from that, there's not much of an atmosphere in this level, which is a bit of a shame. I mean, like, but it's just doing its own thing. It's not a problem. Probably a decent 7, I think, is a good rating. That was still really fun, though. I enjoyed the gameplay. I feel like I'm missing a coin for some reason. No, I got them all. Right? Yeah, I'm good. I don't know why I panicked like that. Nope, I didn't mean to restart. This was great. I love it. I was hoping I could maybe give it an 8, but no, I think 7's fair. I like the song, and I like the design, and the gameplay is phenomenal, but it doesn't really, like, have any super impactful moments that I would like to see. So, I think I'm gonna go with a 7, which is still good. I mean, it's a great level, very fun, but, you know, it's just, it doesn't have, like, that real punch to it that gives it A tier. Still, the gameplay in this is phenomenal. There's a couple of weird parts here and there. I don't like the transition into that upside down wave. And there's some weird dual things that are a bit strange, but overall this is really fun. I love the flow. Super cool. Yeah, that was great. This is awful. Why?
Can I not die to the robot portal this time? Please. Yay! Oh my god. Sweet. Alright, reanimation. At long last. I've finally played this level. I really should have done a long time ago, but who cares? Let's talk about it. It's okay. I mean, I can see why this was praised like it was at the time it was released, which is like, what, 2.0? Fixed 2.2 bug, except for the stupid robot slope, because, of course. Anyway. As for the... I don't know, I think it has some really fun parts, but there's also some parts that are just terrible. Mostly that boss fight, and notably, the transition out of the ship into the robot in the boss fight. That plays horrendously. I hate that. That's like one of the worst things I've ever done. And there's some other parts earlier in the level. Like, there's another ship to robot transition I think I didn't like. The robot slope jump is kind of annoying. The duel's kind of annoying. There's just a lot of annoying things, but there's also some really fun hype parts. But they are heavily outweighed by the bad. And I probably wouldn't think that if it weren't for the fact that this level's also just not that visually interesting. I mean, it's cool, I see what it's doing, but A, some of the animation work is just like not that great, and some of the designs just aren't that great. And two, it's derivative of Death Moon, and I think it does enough of its own thing to where that wouldn't like constitute an F tier rating or anything. Like, if it were really ripping off Death Moon, it would be like an F tier level. But I think it's doing enough of its own thing to where I can give this higher than that. But I just don't think it looks that good. Like, some parts are neat. I like the spires and that one mini cube near the beginning, and a couple of other things. But it's just not that great. I don't know. I'd give this like a 4. I think it's just kind of middle of the road. Like, meh. Fine, I guess, but I just don't care for it personally. Cool. That was way too close. No more speed changes though, right? I don't think. Sick. Okay. Yeah, that level's not that great. Sorry, I just don't like the speed changes. They aren't fun. We're good. This is like a 4, probably. Similar to reanimation. I just didn't like it that much. I think the 9 circles elements, like,
outside of the wave, like the cube and ball and chip and all that stuff, they're all fun. And the wave's cool when it's not just constantly changing speed, but when it is constantly changing speed, this is bad. It's not cool, not fun. Didn't care too much for that level. I saw potential there, but it wasn't that great. So, sorry, not my thing. I'm following it! What do you want from me? I hate that attack. That's the one attack in this level I just can't stand. That is like representative of like the worst trope in bosses, any boss level ever. When it gives you a little light bulb to follow and it just says to follow the light. Like in freaking Hellgate Menace. Like, I hate that. That's the only blunder on this boss fight design, is that stupid attack, because it's just so it's just so ambiguous. Oh, whatever. Aside from that, it's great. If I get the green serpent, I'm pretty much guaranteed to have that attack somewhere along the way. Giving me the click anytime. It's not a lot of clicks or anything, but alright, Ghost Serpent, here we go. Whew. Nice! Whew! Okay, nice, I got it. Let's go. I will be back for you. I will be back for all of you. Mark my words, I'm not done in this location. I will be back to this temple. I'm coming back. You can't hide forever. I say that, but I'm notorious for dropping projects and just never getting stuff done, so we'll see about that. But I just could not bother going for the coins, and I feel like I had to play this level eventually. I can't wait until I'm ready for the coins. What I'll probably end up doing is just waiting to do it for like a coin milestone achievement, like, I don't know. Beats me. I'll figure it out one of these days. I don't know, like 5,000, but that's kind of a lot of coins, and I kind of tend to avoid coins when possible, so who knows when that'll be. Anyway, let's talk about Serpent's Wrath. The level, not the coins. This is fantastic, for the most part. Sorry, that sounded kind of backhanded. No, I love this. Anubis has a very unique style that just kind of complements this. It's very raw in some ways, but there's also a lot of really cool, minute details, intricacies like the glowing crystals and like the piles of bones and like on the ground and all these little things. You know, I don't really know how to detail it, but there's just all these cool little inclusions that give the level a lot of world building. And the gameplay is overall really fun. I think there's a lot of stuff to really like about this level, especially the boss fight. I mean, the boss fight is definitely what makes this level as interesting as it is. It's randomized, and like all the patterns are so unique and like creative. And it's really thrilling to just try to kind of figure it out as you go. You have to have good reaction time. and memorize all the patterns, but also watch ahead a little bit, check for like upcoming hazards built into the terrain. It's really cool. I like it. But there are just a few attacks and stuff that did get under my skin a little bit. I just didn't like how they were structured, really. It was mostly in the green serpent. I got the ghost serpent into my completion. But if you get the big green serpent, I have to say I'm not a huge fan of the light attack. I think I said it in my winning run, where I just do not like when bosses tell you to follow the light, and that attack is basically that, because it just feels jank. I feel like I'm dying to a non-existent obstacle. And that really bothers me. Aside from that, most of the attacks are good, even if it seems like it could throw you a cheap shot here or there. Overall, it's very fair, and it's just thrilling. The only other critique I'd have is I feel like it could have used a better part of the song for the boss, but like it's not too bad. I think this part of the, again, this is the thing, like, you know, you're kind of stuck within the progression of the song itself. The issue really just comes down to, I feel like the first boss, the part of the song just doesn't feel like climactic at all, but the second boss is good. So you'd have to like jump around parts of the song, which wasn't possible when this level was made, but would also be kind of like, regardless. This is 5 years old. Gosh, man. Interesting. But yeah, just little things with the song structuring that I'm not a fan of, but that's not the level's fault. It's just doing what it can with what it's been given. And the song is still really good. It's a fire song. I mean, I love drum and bass remixes. I love Necromancy, the Slam song. And that's not even a very great level. So, you know, here it's kind of, or, you know, when you have a song like that here, it's kind of peak. Anyway, I know I'm being critical because there's a lot to love about this level, but I do want to solidify the things that did bother me. I'd still give it a 9. It's really fun. I'm just nitpicking because, I mean, I feel like this had the potential to be a 10, and those little things drop it down a peg. So that's why I sound a little bit overly critical compared to how I'd usually be. I just think there was a lot of potential here, and those little things knock it down. It could have been an S tier level, but I was just put off by a couple of annoyances. And also, I am a little bit salty because I want the coins, but I can't have the coins right now because I'm not good enough. But I couldn't just let this level sit forever. I'll put this in the list of levels where I need to get the coins still. That list is growing ever larger. Not deliberately. It's because I either keep forgetting coins exist or because the coins got added after I beat the level. I still need to go back for Prophecy, and I still need to go back for Music in My Mind. And I still need to go back for the coins in the Radiant Rift recompletion from the Gem Gauntlet, but that one I'm less concerned about because it's a recompletion. I will be back for all of these one of these days, but for now I'm not super concerned about this level in particular. I will get these, hopefully. It's just gonna be a matter of time. But that's for the main route. Very fun, very cool, love it. do not have any idea how I managed to get through that wave. There is no way I just did that. That has to be one of the most insane alternate paths I've ever accidentally taken. Oh my god. Oh, let's go. Wow. Well, this level may have tortured me for several hours, but at least I got a nice fluke at the end of the day, so that's good. Okay. I didn't like it at first. As time went on, I grew to like certain elements of it a little bit more. I'm going to go over the pros and the cons individually. Pros, I think it has a pretty cool atmosphere of sorts. I am going to critique some elements of that, but I do like the way it gradually builds over time. Obviously, the song lends itself well to the whole environment. And like that, the progression of it is just really exciting. I like that. And there are some fun moments of gameplay. I think there were a couple UFOs I liked. The wave was fun, like the backwards wave. And I think the ending section grew on me as I got used to it. I wasn't a big fan of the last mirror portal at first, but the more I played it, the more I kind of found a rhythm with it and kind of enjoyed it. As for the cons of this level, my first critique is towards the atmosphere. I did say I like the intensity in the world it builds, but there are some issues with it, and I think that's mostly just because the level doesn't really take itself seriously enough. Like, if you want me to be invested in your world, you have to be serious about it. The main thing that puts me off is just the title. I'm not going to translate it right now, but I can say that Conchetumare X is not a very serious title when you put it through a translator. Leave it at that. And also, the fake coin is also another thing that just, like, I don't really think adds anything to the atmosphere. I would have just added a real coin somewhere along the way instead of making it kind of a big joke. So that's my atmospheric gripe. And then there are some parts of the gameplay in this level that are just awful. Like, it has its high moments, but it has its low moments as well. Most notably in the terrible vertical section. I hate that part vehemently. I'm happy I didn't die there in real runs, but in practice it was the most draining thing, especially that final click to initiate the coin route. I did find a consistent strategy for it, but it just was so broken at first, and I just hated it. What else? The beginning's kind of slow and boring. That got tedious. Just some other little things. Overall, I started to enjoy it more over time, but those really low points they aren't really outweighed enough by the pros. I'd give this like a 6 maybe. I know I keep giving 6s to old hard demons, but I don't know, it feels right. It can go along the ranks of Forsaken Neon and Ditched Machine. But I did it. Oh, I can finally do this. Yes. At long last. This has been sitting completed forever because I went through it too fast. But cool. Metal path done. Nice. I forgot to change to use the metal champion icons. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'll use them later. Path of metal complete. Nice. Now we can finally unlock this. Path of light. It has begun. Alright. Cool level. Some issues, but we are done. okay. That ending is weird because usually, you know, I feel like a long atmospheric experience kind of tends to work best when the song cuts off with the end of the level, but that's weird because it just plays that really like shrill effect as kind of like the flames consume everything. I don't know, that's kind of a cool way to end it. And the whole level is just, well, to put it bluntly, it's really good. This level really kind of made me think a lot about it on a deeper level. I knew there was something up with this level from the moment I saw this. It's just kind of sitting here with a 6-minute runtime and a song, from what I've heard, is one of the like most impactful albums. I haven't heard the album. I ain't listened to it. But anyways, I will just speak on the level for now, and I will look into the music later. I'll say the music fits the level very nicely. But as for the level itself, it's, you know, obviously I think the art's great. It's got that classic Skywalker style. I mean, I've given high praise to levels like The Limit and The Terminator, and this one's clearly no exception. And it definitely tells more of a narrative because it just has a longer runtime to do something with. And it's in the progression that this level really feels weird. I will reference my Avalancheer review from last month. This kind of does a similar thing with a very different approach, because what I talked about Avalancheer was how it kind of depicts like the end of the world in a very peaceful way. It's like the aftermath of whatever devastating event has occurred and turns it into something beautiful, because like it's just like it shows how peaceful the world would be with like no people around to do anything to it. Like it'd be in a state of clear like disrepair, but it would also be kind of serene in a way. And this level kind of plays with a similar concept, although I feel like it's to a much greater degree, because like it doesn't just kind of show like ruined cities and such. It's like really rural locations, like places out in the wilderness and high in the mountains, like these really like hidden away communities where like you could imagine very few people would have lived, and it just kind of shows the aftermath of some destruction. And it's a really dark but very, I don't know, it's a very serene experience. I think that's really cool. But it's, again, and I mentioned this in Avalancheer, the level doesn't just stick with this theme. It later in the level adds a more chaotic element, because like you can see how it works in reverse. Obviously Skywalker has done some weird thing with some cultic imagery, which is nothing new. So, and it definitely rules out the possibility of whatever this destruction was. It was not a result purely of the elements. It definitely adds a supernatural aspect to that, which is kind of neat. But that's not necessarily my point. My point is just kind of like as the level progresses, it does kind of start to deteriorate more. You have like the way like the flames rise at the end, and like the weather becomes more torrential, if I recall. 6-minute runtime, I can't remember everything perfectly. But I don't know, it just kind of has the narrative of the level in reverse, which is cool. Gonna take some deeper analysis, but I do like how uncomfortable the level is to play, even though there is kind of like I said, a very calming element to it, because the world it's peaceful, but you can see the destruction and the violence and whatever else may have occurred prior to that. I think this is a really cool level. I kind of wish it was a demon, so I could put it in my demonist here, since I tend to give favoritism to those levels, but alas, here we are, with a 7-star. That took me about half an hour because of the immense run time and my inability to flute literally anything. I'll do, as I always say, I'll do a deeper analysis one of these days. I can only talk for so long at the moment. But I like it. It's really cool. In a very, very just kind of deeply emotional experience. I like it. That was really good.
Okay, dude.
Ooh. Sweet. I'm glad I finally got that. That took so long, just because the level is so long. It is a very grueling level. Just, what is it, like 3 minutes? I don't even want to look at myself, because I cannot hear myself think. I'll have to grab Metropolis stuff in it. That's cool. Yeah, I could look through and see what all's in this. But I'm not gonna worry too much about that. I recognize some of the levels. I don't recognize some of them, so. Please go easy demon. That's definitely a medium demon. I don't spend that long on easy demons. But anyways, let's talk about this a little bit. Just from a quality standpoint. This is an okay one. It's, yeah, you know, I have to address it. Audiovisual sampling contest injury. Whoopee. And those tend to vary in quality. And this one is good, but it does kind of happen to fall into those traps of this contest where it's very easy to make a level that just doesn't feel interesting. Because if you sample too strongly and use, like, if you use the major set pieces from levels, for example, the Skeletal Shenanigans boss, then, like, you lose a little bit of that atmosphere. Like, it feels very derivative. I know every level in this contest is going to be derivative, but that's not always a bad thing, because I still like Deep Echo a lot, despite some freaking gameplay shenanigans in that level. This one, it just doesn't feel quite as special to me, just because it's sampling a lot of bigger stuff. It doesn't stand on its own as well. Again, mostly because of the skeletal shenanigans, dude. There's also those blocks from Prophecy that just feel way too, like, on the nose. Like, those are literally from a different video game. Like, those are so recognizable as an element from another level. It's crazy. Anyway, so there's that. And also, the gameplay is just, like, I think it's mostly fun, but it has some hiccups that really impacted my enjoyment. Most notably, where was it? I'm forgetting somehow. The transition into the final ball was something that really kind of bothered. I think what it is, really, I kind of touched on this in one of my runs before dying. It does a lot of or it has a lot of parts where it doesn't really tell you clearly what you need to do. Like, it doesn't force you to do the right thing. It just kind of expects it to be self-evident. And that really came through in that final ball part. Because, like, at the end, for example, like, you can kind of look at it and say, okay, I need to switch before I hit this dash orb. It just makes sense because there's a platform there. But it doesn't force you to do that. And if you don't do that, then it kills you unexpectedly. It's just one of those things, like, if you put a spike there to force that, it'd be a lot more clear. And there were other things like that in the level. That's the main one that comes to mind, just because it's most fresh on my mind. But there were just a lot of things that did bother me. Nothing egregious. Most of the gameplay does flow really well. It's fun. The song is hype. It's a Dunder Patrol in the song, so, you know, it's going to be pretty good. Overall, I thought this was cool, but it's probably about a 7, just for A, being a bit too derivative, and B, because the gameplay's got some quirks that just kind of irritate me. Overall, still fun, but flawed in some ways, which is a bummer. Hey, I got it. I have to also want to say before I wrap up here, I do appreciate Rob choosing some more difficult weeklies as of late. That's the second medium beam we've got in like a month. I just like when the difficulty gets bumped up a little bit. It makes it, you know, it just feels more significant. Like, I like having to try for the weekly. I know it's harder for less experienced players, but I'm always happy to see difficulty branch out. That's not really a great cube. I'm at 90 fire shards. Dang, I'm close. Okay, cool. How did I let that happen? Okay. forgot to react. That wasn't very hard. Cool. Yeah, I like that. I don't know what style this would really... I don't know. It's...
I'd give this a 6 probably. I wanted to say 7 because like it's cool. I like the hand-drawn stuff. That's really the only appeal. And I like the eye animations. But like aside from that, it's just kind of a pretty simple Neo design, I guess, level? Maybe? I really am not sure. But the fact that I can't pinpoint the style kind of tells you that it's like cool, but not that cool. I think 6 is fair. The gameplay is fun, but it's also got some quirks that are just like, not sure about that. 6 seems fair for this. Lukewarm Xenon Sun, yeah. I just needed a really free, easy demon to do right now because I don't want to waste a bunch of time. So, we're going to do that and move on. How it ends. Like that. Sweet. How fun. I did it. That wasn't too bad. I just realized the name of this. Is that a typo, or is that just what it's called? Okay, well, let's just talk about the level. I don't have a lot of remarkable stuff to say about this level. It's good. Definitely one of Skywalker's more gameplay-oriented levels. Usually they're not super focused on gameplay. They're always fun. Well, that's debatable. But usually they're not as gameplay-oriented. This one is a little bit button mashy for my taste, but not to the point where I think it's bad or anything. I thought it was really fun, very satisfying, good flow state. The wave at the end is especially cool. I like the wave a lot. Yeah, that's about it for gameplay. I think it's the high point of this level. The level looks really good, and I love the oriental style of it. But it wasn't really impactful, like, in a meaningful way. Mostly because I just didn't think the song was, like, that appealing. It's a good song, but not as good as I'd expect from Flying Lotus after the Terminator. Yeah, it's a good song, just... I don't know, it didn't really have any sort of vibe to it, which is a little unfortunate, but I mean, it's not a big deal. And I mean, like, you know, an atmosphere wouldn't have really suited this kind of gameplay regardless, so it doesn't matter that much. This is a good level. I'm torn between 7 and 8. I'm erring on the side of 8 just because I think the art style's really pretty. But the lack of atmosphere and kind of whatever gameplay, I shouldn't say it like that. Like, just the generally okay gameplay. I don't know, they are the only thing that would make me think 7. But again, level's pretty. I'd probably go 8. We'll see. It was fun though. Still a good level regardless.
Nice. Sweet. I'm starting to think I'd have to re-practice the ending, but I didn't have to. That's nice. This is pretty great. I like it. Very gameplay carried, if we're talking about like the most important aspect of the level. I do think there's a lot more focus on making good gameplay than visuals, but that's not to say the visuals are bad. They're just a lot more simple than what I used to from Skywalker, and I think it's just a product of its time because this level is a lot older than Skywalker's other work, which tends to have the more hand-drawn, cartoony aesthetic. But that aside, this level does look cool. I like some of the animations that are like sort of frame-by-frame animations, but it is very repetitive, and it's very monotone because it's all orange and white, which I don't dislike. But it does have some cool effects that complement the song well. Like, there's some like hazy effects to the visuals in the more like noisy parts of the song, and I think that's cool. And generally, I think the more laid-back visual style works with the more laid-back song because it's like it's a weirdly sinister song. Like, it's, you know, very grounded, but there's some elements in it that invoke a feeling of unease. Not a strong one, but it just doesn't feel completely stable. So it's just like a little undertone. And that's reflected in the visuals because, again, the visuals are mostly simplistic, but there are some things that sort of stray away from that very well-structured nature. This is really cool. All that said, since it is so simplistic, I'm probably going to give it a 7. I think that's fair. Feels very similar to White Women in some ways, although I do like that it has more of a theme. But, you know, the visuals just don't do a whole lot, and the gameplay is, like, just kind of overall good. Like, nothing special, but pretty neat in its own weird way. I think a 7's fair for this. I'm okay with that. Let me use wrong, though. How fun.
Here we go.
Oh, it's so spooky. This level's so good. Is this auto? I thought it would add at least some gameplay. Got soul? That's crazy. Got soul is wild. I don't know how it does the camera. Oh, let's go. It's the Halloween season, man. I forgot I was gonna do these, but it's so funny. Alright, that's one of them. Tape 666, that was great. Okay. scary. You can see the blocks fading. It's like not that. Yeah. Very. Yep. It's okay, all is forgiven, buddy. That level was actually... The gameplay in this level was actually kind of peak. Fire. Robin cooks with gameplay, dude. I mean, say what you will about the horror elements in this. It plays, like, phenomenal. It'd be cool if it's got rated, even if it's just a star rate. Anyways, I'm gonna give that a 6. The gameplay's peak. Oh, it's not free! Hopefully it's a straight fly or something. It might be. I might be stupid. I just tried to follow the actual deadlock pattern. I love how unscary this face is, man. Weirdly distorting it probably was not the best move. Okay. Probably should have died, but I didn't. I don't know if these saws can kill me, but I'm not going to tempt fate with them. Please just be straight fly, I hope. It is. Oh, no, it automates the moves. Okay. Gotcha. Alright, that was fun. Is it the scariest level ever? No, not really, but I mean, hey. It's something. Like 10 stars demon. Very hard. Yeah. Alright, lost locked. Nice. Nice. It's so stupid this level ends at 80%, but I'm not going to complain about that. Because I did it. Alright. Alright. That was pretty fun. So before I start reviewing the level itself, I do want to get one thing off my chest, and it is that I am like extremely bothered by like golly, so many achievements. I'm extremely bothered by like the context behind this level, because I know this creator is like notoriously I just had the word on my brain. Where'd it go? Oh, entitled? Like, there's a lot of complaining about why this level is feature only and not epic or something, and that just kind of gets under my skin. It doesn't impact my rating in any way, but I do want to preface with that, because while it doesn't impact my enjoyment rating, it does kind of impact my appreciation for the level, just in an artistic sense. But I'm going to talk a bit about the level itself, and the level itself is pretty good. I think the high point in this is definitely the gameplay. It just has there's some weird balancing, but overall it is extremely fair and has a really nice state of flow to it. The only part I actively dislike is the mini wave in the middle. That part's just way too fast, and it hits you with this transition that just doesn't really feel too good. Partially a result of the weird coin route. But aside from that part, this whole level is just extremely fun. The gameplay is very well done. And as for the decoration and atmosphere, I think the atmosphere suffers a little bit. It is not the best liminal space level I've ever seen. You know, that honor would go to Pluto or Crossroads or Between Us. But while I don't think the atmosphere is greatness, I do think it's a really nice looking level. I think the art is just extremely well done in this. It's very simple but effective, and I love the sort of dull color tones that just make a really nice unsettling feel, even if the atmosphere does suffer a bit from context and such. I am not really a fan of like the lore of the back rooms and all the different levels and stuff. I just kind of like the general concept, just as kind of a horror thing. And like having a bunch of trying to fully explain it kind of takes away from that. And this level falls into that problem because it features so many different locations and it ties them together with actual like text title cards in a way. So it hurts it, but I don't hate it. Even though it does kind of reveal a bit too much to the audience, it still progresses in a way where it feels like you're kind of getting lost in that space regardless, just as like an icon. Like, because it switches around levels so much, it jumps between numbers, there's no real consistency, it's really all over the place. And I think that inconsistency makes it feel more labyrinthine. Just, it's easier to sort of get immersed in the world, even if it is being, it's not keeping its cards close enough to its chest. And that's pretty much all I have to say on the level. It's pretty good overall. I'm leaning towards 7. I could maybe go 8. It just is impacted a little bit by my general perception of the world it builds. But I like the level overall. It's very fun. And I guess I can finally celebrate this. I have at long last completed the Liminal Lounge list in its entirety. I'm very kind of proud of myself and surprised by this because I never thought I was going to touch either of these last 2 levels. But here we are. 10 months later after starting it for the first time. I still stand by the opinion that this is the best list in the game, even if there are a couple blemishes and Followed and Pepsi Man's version of the Backrooms, and Darkness to an extent. There are still so many fantastic levels in this list. I mean, almost everything has an immaculate atmosphere and mostly good gameplay. I do not regret playing this whole list. It is extremely, extremely fun. I guess I never liked it. weirdly enough. Yeah, this was fantastic. You know, not every level is created equal, but there are some real gems in this, and I'd highly recommend checking it out. And I'd like to talk more about it someday, but for now, not too worried about it. Cool stuff. Man, I died. That's crazy. I don't want to do this again. This level sucks so bad. I hate it. Well, I missed one of those hearts. But I won't end up needing it. This level's so bad. Oh my god. There we go. This is easily one of my least favorite levels in the whole game. I really hate this level, just what it stands for. Like, it's not my least favorite. I'd say if I want to talk about really egregious levels, I'd go with Liminal Nowhere or Iapetus. But like, this is not far behind, and the type of levels I just really hate. Like, deep down from the bottom of my heart. Like, this is a soulless slop, super realism level with an inconsistent theme that rips gameplay from Stereo Madness, and it just sucks to play because of the camera loop effects and the ambiguous hitboxes. And above all else, it comes from a creator who I respect to a degree, and they have. And SunBun, like, why would SunBun doing this has to be the biggest mystery to me. I just don't get it. I don't see how you could, this late in your legacy as a creator, make some trash like The Whale. That's just crazy to me. I mean, like, all of SunBun's stuff has been like iffy recently, but like. The Whale's just on a whole other plane of terrible. I don't get it. I just don't. The whole conceptualization of this level is just, like, really, really, like, repulsive to me. I hate this. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know why this was made. Other than the fact that it was for that stupid Stereo Madness gameplay contest. And, like... There aren't really any good levels in that, but like this one's just the biggest mystery to me. Because I also hate what I just hate what it stands for, coming from SunBun in particular. If it were another creator, I might brush that off and give it a 2 or a 3, but this is a 1. I don't care. This level's terrible. No respect for it. Let's play a level that's probably good. Fish Business by Ditto. Ditto is a fire creator. This should go hard. God. That again.
Green hat. Cool. Green hat, I think. Okay. It's the green hat, I know it. I think I'm already on the right guy. This is him. Don't tell me I'm wrong, I just looked. Was it the tie? No, it was the hat. I swear it was. Good. I was nervous. I did not want to do all that again. Okay, well that was interesting. Oh, okay. Sweet. Alright, that was fun. I think the animation work and stuff is really cool in this, and the narrative is cute. And the gameplay is mostly good, but it did get on my nerves a little bit. I give it 7. I considered 8, but I don't think the visuals carry it all the way that high. In the gameplay, irritated me just a little bit with some of its more quirky mechanics. It is cool overall though, so 7. Yeah, that's fair. I like it. Video cooks usually.
Dude, oh my god. It's not... it's not that hard.
What are we doing? Like, dying to the actual swing is one thing, but dying to the setup is wild. I kinda just wish it put you into this swing a little bit sooner. But that doesn't change the fact that it's my fault for dying in such a stupid way. Like, I can't pin that on the level. Nice. Okay. Nothing else, I don't think, right? If there's like a spike in the dark or something, I'll be upset. Honestly, would have been really funny. But I wasn't taking that. I would have been mad too. Okay. I got it. Man, that took a while. This is probably my favorite temple level so far.
I think it's really cool. I know that's crazy, because the other two I've played are literally considered to be the best ones, Forest and Lava. But hey, this one, I don't know, I just think the gameplay is a lot cooler. I guess it is the last one before Lava, so was still pretty developed at this point. But no, that was great. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed that a lot. Which is surprising because, like, you know, usually levels with official songs struggle to just differentiate themselves from other old levels. You know, because these were the only options at the time. But Club Step is just a really atmospheric song, I think, and that's cool. But as for the level itself, I think I like the simplistic design. I think it's really cool. It feels the most menacing, really, out of any of the... Well, I don't know. I just think the concept of a shadow temple is a lot more mysterious than a forest temple or a lava temple or something. I don't know. I really don't have a very coherent review, but I do think the gameplay is the most fun. The one thing I'll say about this compared to Forest Temple is it just has a better climax. Like, one of my biggest issues with Forest Temple has always been that, like, it does not have a satisfying ending. For the last hazard of the level, you literally just slide under a spike. Like, it is, like, the lamest possible conclusion to that level. Like, if you had to jump that spike, it'd be a completely different story. But no, you just go under it. You do nothing. You win so early compared to when, like, the actual hazards stop being there. I never liked that. But this level actually has a satisfying final jump over a double spike. A raised double spike. And that's cool. I like this level. It just has a lot better progression, if you ask me, than Forest Temple does. And the gameplay's fun. The memory elements are a little bit concerning at first, but once you kind of get to know them, it's just a pattern. And you really shouldn't die there a lot. Obviously, I did because I'm bad, but they're not that hard, really. Shadow Temple, that was fun.
I enjoyed this one. This was good. Okay, that's good. Last stretch. Nice! Alright, that's a pretty good fluke. Can't complain. Good for me. I'm just really good. 22 attempts in normal mode. On an insane demon. That's stupid. It's goofy is what it is. Hey, we take those. I can't complain. It is kind of my strong suit in that it's like
completely cube and robot gameplay. That tends to be my forte. So I can't say I'm shocked, although that was still a pretty low attempt count. Whatever. Cool. That is the final demonry completion that I had not done from my old account. I put this one off for a long time because it really isn't super significant. I mean, compared to pretty much everything else I did, or the other insane demons I did, those being Magma Bound and Lit Fuse and Dark Travel. This one's a little bit easier in comparison. So I didn't feel as bad about putting it off. And I feel okay about doing it for 1750 instead of around 100. Just because I feel like 1750 is a significant number, and it's also a lot easier in terms of insane demon difficulty. I feel like any level where you go down to hard demon of the insanes I did, this would be the one to do it. And I'm not saying it should or it will, but it'd be way less devastating than some other if it were like a multiple of 100, because those are usually where I try to put the strong insane demons. So you know, I thought I'd mention that. But a little review. I don't have a ton to say about this one, believe it or not. I think where it really shines is its song rep and general atmosphere. It feels very like inescapable. It's a factory that is like completely engulfed in this like thick smog that like it's so easy to get lost in. I mean, you can't see a thing. Well, I shouldn't say that, but it's really hard to see through. It makes for a gameplay experience that requires a lot of memorization, and it's maybe I'm not going to compare it directly to Save As. It's not what it's going for, but it's a gameplay effect similar to Save As, where it's kind of fighting against the gameplay, and it really makes you like struggle to think about it, and it sells this idea that you are like lost in a place that is like extremely dangerous and against you. Whatever. It's not that deep, really. I shouldn't say. It's mostly just an atmosphere and location-driven level, because I do think the best thing about this level is definitely the song representation, because just all of the mechanical elements and animations in this level are synced with some percussive element of the song, whether it's like the clicking that symbolizes the weird spikes that chop through the logs, or just the giant crushers that come down with a metallic like ring, just all these little things, and you know, it's cool. I like that, and the gameplay is very fun. There's a couple of parts that are just a little bit too like memorization heavy, where that really kind of becomes the challenge as opposed to like actually nailing timing and stuff. And that's why this level is so free as an insane demon, for the record. But I mean, like, I don't hate that gameplay style. It's just a little weaker than like a satisfying string of inputs would be. It's very slow paced. Like very few of the jumps actually feel precarious. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I don't have a lot to say. I know I would have ranked this a lot higher at one point in time. I could maybe go with an 8 for this, but I'm thinking it's probably closer to a 7. I don't know. I remember really loving this on an initial playthrough, but I just, you know, it doesn't really feel anything particularly. I just think it's a really good representation of what it does. It achieves what it sets out to be really well, but there's no relatability, there's no hype factor, none of that. I think 7's probably fair. I'd honestly say I might have enjoyed the backrooms more than this, or just backrooms. There's no it doesn't matter. But that level just had more interesting gameplay, and I think I had a more visually appealing art style. I wouldn't say it was as unique as this one, because it kind of did seep into some realism territory there a little bit. I think 7's fair for this. I'd probably put this between Backrooms and Edge of the Universe. I might put it below Edge of the Universe, quite frankly. I don't mean to hate on this level. It's really good. I know I'm being critical, but it just... I don't know. It just doesn't grab me in the same way. I would probably just put this at the bottom of the insane tier, but a 7 out of 10 is still very respectable. It's a good level. I just don't have a lot to add on it. It's alright though. Fun. Oh god, I should not have tried to jump there. I should have jumped later there, but I survived though. Oh my god. Is there more that you get from collecting? Oh. Oh, that gave me chills. Oh my god. Oh. The experience of the coins. Oh, that's such a little thing and it adds a ton. I came back. I came back. Okay, wow. I don't think that could have occurred in any better of a context. Wow. Play this so much earlier and come back to it after forgetting the first time. And that's so powerful because the level is all about, well, it's about wanting to go back and to do things differently. And I think I think my experience with it really, that my experience ditching this coin the first time, then coming back and finding that relief and solace in having that done, that kind of means something to me. Anyway, so last time I played this, I went through it, I forgot the coin, I didn't realize it existed, I didn't know that there were secrets to collect, and I didn't feel like going back at the moment because I was in a rush to get through stuff. So I just didn't go back and get the coin. And I also omitted the review of this level from that part of the video, or earlier in this video, I guess, because I didn't feel like there was enough substance in that. I think I was trying to be a little too lenient towards the level because I understood the meaning. I knew what this level was trying to get at, and I think I kind of forced myself to praise it a little bit. But I want to give this my honest thoughts, and kind of how it made me feel on a deeper level, and be a little blunt with some of my criticisms of the level, but still show some appreciation for that. So, the issue, well, no, let's start with the positives. Let's talk about the great things this level does first. I think it really sells this feeling that comes so often with grief. It's trying to get through the acceptance phase of any loss, because this level is really dreary and somber, and it just sits in your mind and in your soul for such a long time because there's these huge swaths of nothingness, complete completely desolate landscapes where you'll see nothing except for the lights that come in when the piano melody plays. You'll have these piano notes that strike the screen really, really harshly, and they're just like a glimmer of hope in such a devastating location. Like, it's so powerful, and I think that's great because the way it corresponds with the music really goes to show that it is a very... I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there. The way it corresponds with the music shows the power of music because they are glimmers of light in the darkness, and they are represented by a very clear, distinct piano melody in a space where everything else is so toned out, and it just, like, it's such a contrast in musical style. And I think the song's great on its own, but the level really drives that point home with how it represents those piano notes, because that is, like, as far as the song rep really goes, at least in the main route, it is just showing this optimistic melody to be the thing that gets you through a dark time. I think that's really awesome. And it emphasizes a desire to move on, because it's about finding that music, finding that melody, and allowing that to be what gets you through the grief. Because I've gotten through a lot of hard times with a great piece of music that can do a lot. I mean, I won't go into examples, but if I have a bad day, I can just boot up one of my favorite songs and just relax with it for a while, feel something, feel optimism in a trying time. And that's just awesome. And this level emphasizes that perfectly. Although it's a lot more toned out, it's like, it is a desperate attempt to find that, because of how the song plays. It's not, like, super loud, it doesn't dominate, it's just a melody, and that's all it needs. But anyway, so that's just the general feeling I get from it, and I need to go over the coin, because the coin really hit me in a way I didn't expect. It's so hard to kind of figure out what does it mean. I know the context behind the level. I know it's about Tro's cat and how the cat has passed away, and it's trying to move on from that. That's what this ending message here says at the final section. So the level has 5 secret areas. They're, like, all off screen. You can't find them unless you really know what you're looking for, and it is to look for the flowers, because there's flowers in 5 distinct spots in this level, and they all represent where to go. To some degree. Some are a little more clear than others, but that's what they stand for. And in each of these spaces, you'll just see a little still image of a cat. And it is such an interesting thing to me, because, like, it's like a glimpse of color. Like, everything else is completely grayscale in this level, but those cats, like, the art, like, they are a very, you know, bold, bright, easy to distinguish element that stands out in the hazy mess that is the rest of the level. And when you touch them, they just get whisked away into the thick atmosphere. And I don't really know what that's meant to be, but they're just so sparse and, like, a very small thing.
that's the hardest. That's the thing like that really hits me, and I just haven't had the time to like think about what that means. It's almost like a fleeting memory of joy in remembering the one you lost. I don't know. That's something I need to think about a little bit, but I do think that is a very interesting thing in this level. And the way you ascend at the end, it's like you found those memories and you've experienced them one last time before you could let go and move on. And it's like a bit of enlightenment at the end that you get for kind of accepting it better than you would in the main route. So that's all I have to offer on that. So from an artistic standpoint, just in terms of the story it tells, I love this level. I think that's really powerful. But I said it earlier, I do have some criticisms, and I really don't know what to do about them, because the thing is, I've mentioned how I love the way this represents the song, and how, you know, just minute those details are, but how they contrast so well with like the dark atmosphere of it that it really hits you hard. But I think where I'm caught up with this is that it really, really lacks style. I feel terrible for saying that, but if you disregard the atmosphere and the story this level's telling you, I think this could fall in with almost any other featured level. Like, the design is really simplistic, and I know that's a horrible thing to say, but I see all the comments on this level that say this deserved epic or legendary, and I can't help to think to myself, but did it really? Because what did this level really do that went beyond telling a narrative? It's not like Comatose, it's not like Well Rested, it's not like Out of Place. Those levels have such a distinct and recognizable style that hits you so hard. But this level, with how empty and like plain it is, it's like if you didn't know the narrative of this level, or you just saw a snippet of the video, you would probably never remember that. And that's really hard to grasp, because you know this level is trying to do something so powerful, but it just, to me, it just feels like it can't really do that. And that's so hard. Just the way it kind of lacks a real identity. It's just the crux of what is an otherwise beautiful and fantastic story and message. It's so hard to get over that, because I want to love it so bad, and I still do love a lot about it, but those little things are really hard for me to get past, and I struggle to rate this level, because as much as I want to give the level a 10 out of 10 for the narrative it's telling me, it's like I'm not going to remember much of it distinctly at the end of the day. And that's a real shame. I think it deserves an A tier at the very minimum, just for what it does, but it's just, I can't justify an S tier as badly as I want to, as badly as I want to sing the praises of this level, and say this was an immaculate experience. It's just so hard to get over the design and the lack of engagement I had with it beyond the narrative. So I wanted to save this for the end of this video, and it's a bittersweet note to go out on for this month, because this was a really good month overall. I'm really happy with a lot of what I did here. I've accomplished a lot. But I wanted to come back to this one a final time and talk about it because it really made me feel some things. But it stumbles in the process. Still, my respect goes out to Tro for putting time and effort into this, and it's a really shame it didn't resonate. It's really a shame it didn't resonate with me on a deeper level because I think there was so much that could have been done here. But I respect it, and again, my heart goes out to the creator on the level who has lost a pet and has done their best to put their emotion into an experience that the rest of the world can see. That's about all I have to say on that matter. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around for this month. Bit of a long one, bit of a chaotic one, but here we are. Done it. I'll see you all at the end of November.